Well, hello.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Cello.
Cello.
Welcome to Restaurant Punk,
Restaurant Punk.
episode 36.
36.
Good job.
What's going on, guys? Liz, Nikos, I'm
Yianni.
Yianni. Welcome, everybody. What's going on, guys? How was your week?
Pretty good, actually.
Oh, yeah?
It was phenomenal.
It was phenomenal. Actually, Nikos and I just returned from the wonderful motherland of Greece, and we had a very good time, my man.
It was a great time.
Great food, great weather.
Really great weather. Really great food. Great experiences.
Indeed.
All great experiences.
No, that's part of traveling, and traveling is not easy. Everybody's like, we're going on vacation. From the time you start thinking about it to the time you start packing to the getting to the airport. Obviously, there's always problems, and as we get older and we find the perks of moving from the back of the plane to the front of the plane, or going into a lounge instead of paying $87 for 2 sandwiches. It just gets, airport food.
Well, here's a question I want to ask you. I mean, it's not on topic, but whatever. Speaking of traveling again, you know how when you're in restaurants here and you see certain menus or certain fine dining or non-fine dining establishments, but then when you go across the seas, and that's where it was born in, like the duck confit. Okay, we have duck confit in the States, then we have duck confit from France. People that have duck confit here and say, oh, this is the greatest thing I've ever had, but then experience it from like the motherland and it's completely different, and they might not like it as much because they're not used to that, but that's really how it's supposed to be. How do you fine tune that kind of knowledge of flavor, if I can say knowledge of flavor? It's created somewhere else of a different culture. It's brought over here.
Right.
Try to be prepared this way, but it's not. But people here are accustomed to that's how it's supposed to taste like.
Or vice versa.
Or vice versa.
I don't know. Let's use a cheeseburger or hamburger. That was not created in the United States, but it's considered, that considered the national food? It was made in Germany, if I'm correct. I don't have my food almanac in front of me. While you were talking, the first thing that came to my mind is like when you eat a gyro, a gyro. A gyro here in Greece, you do not put lettuce anywhere, north, south, east, west, anywhere in Greece. It does not exist to where you put iceberg lettuce in a gyro.
Or even the salads. The salads don't have any lettuce either.
No, there's no iceberg lettuce. They're not using iceberg lettuce for that. But it came to the United States, and we made it our own with our own touches. And I think going back to your question, one fascinating story was a pizzeria next door to George's place in Cape May. Blue Moon Pizza.
Blue Moon Pizza used to be next
From
door.
before. Yeah. He liked to surf, so he would go to Hawaii every winter and go surfing. So while he's in Hawaii, he's like, wow, this pizza really sucks. You know what I'm going to do? And I'm sure he wasn't the first to do this. I'm going to get everything shipped over here, and I'm going to blow people's minds. So as he's telling me the story, I already know where this is going. He had everything shipped over, everything from Jersey to there, made the pizza there, and you know what it came out to? Shit.
Yeah.
Because of water, altitude, all these things, air, everything makes a difference. It's never going to come out the same. When I try to make my grandmother's spanakopita, spinach pie, it never comes out the same. It just does. I didn't say it doesn't taste good.
Right.
But have you had that experience to where you've had food in a different place and then you go home or you've traveled or whatnot and it's never going to be the same?
Well, it's funny because my mom's Filipino and she cooks and it's phenomenal.
It is phenomenal.
And then when I try to cook the exact same dish and I can cook, it just doesn't taste the same. I don't even cook anything Filipino anymore. I gave up.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
Because I'm half Filipino and it doesn't count. I'm kidding.
It's half as good.
Do we think that our moms or our loved ones are lying to us about the recipes?
Setting us up to fail? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I know for a fact my mother has a recipe book. She makes amazing
club,
food.
yes.
Amazing recipes, pastries, desserts, actual food. I know for a fact she's told me this, that in her cookbook that she writes, she always puts something off. She puts something that's not supposed to be in there, and only she knows, because she doesn't want everybody to know. She knows what the recipe is. She might look up and say, okay, but she knows that doesn't belong in there, because if anybody grabs her book or whatever and tries to replicate it, it'll never, ever come the same as she makes it. And that's smart.
Amen.
Smart.
And that's smart.
No, it's not smart. It's 2022.
Smart. That woman.
When I asked my mom, Iro.
Yes. Not to be confused with Iro. Iro.
Hey, Mad, do me a favor. How do we make the pasticcio? What was her response? Why?
I'll make it for you. You want pasticcio? I'll make it for you.
I want you to show me how to make it. Why?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
There's a part of me that feels like you would do the same thing.
Who, me?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. There's just something. I just have this feeling. I think you would totally set someone up to have a recipe to taste like total shit. Just
no, words hurt. Liz, words hurt.
I mean, that's cute.
Words hurt. That's dirty. Do you think really? Is that what you think of me?
You didn't deny it.
I did not deny it. I did not deny it.
So let's just say that.
Listen, I have some breaking news now that we're on the topic. When I went into George's place in 2002, my ex-father-in-law had George's place from 1968 till 2002. He put a for sale sign out on the window. And in another episode, I'll go through the process of me coming in and the whole changeover. But George's place was always known for
breakfast.
And what was the main item that's been there since 1968?
The chipped beef.
The chipped beef. Liz, have you ever had chipped beef?
No, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
How would you explain chipped beef? Cream dried beef or shit on a shingle?
A floury cream sauce with chipped salty beef. That's
yes.
It. It's like a gravy.
White sauce?
It's like a gravy sauce, and you would put it over toast, and it comes with a side of hash browns.
It's a Greek thing?
No.
It's I don't know. I want to say it's like a military thing from back in the day, because you can make big pots of it and whatnot. Yeah. So you just, you spoon this over toast.
Shit on a shingle.
Shit on a shingle.
SOS, yeah.
I mean, look, the first year I kept on the menu, we were just making it. He showed me how to make it and whatnot and everything. And I just thought it was the biggest pain in the ass. And you know what? Every time he tried to be like, nope, it's not right. No, it's not right. And I'm like, you know what's not right? And I'm like, okay, I'll let it go, because we were selling a lot of it. I took it off the menu how many years ago?
Wow. Yeah, you pissed a lot of people off.
Even as of yesterday.
10 years maybe?
Yeah.
10 years.
In Greek, we say epitides, just because. Here's the point of the story. What was the recipe for the cream dried beef? You know where the recipe came from?
The back of a box.
It was on the box. That was the secret recipe. Oh, people love it. People are going crazy for it. Oh my God, what did they do to it?
It was made with love. That's the difference. That was the secret
come
recipe.
on.
Well, do you ever have things that you ate when you were a kid and you thought was the best thing ever, and then you eat it as an adult and you're thinking, no, this is
Oh yeah, all the time.
So I want to go back to your initial topic that you brought up about, bringing dishes over from other countries. I could be wrong, all right, but I know in the 50s, it was very big with Julia Child, and she was cooking all these international dishes. A lot of Americans wanted to jump on that and start cooking it. But the thing is, you really couldn't cook those kind of dishes as is, because the American palate was so different. I just don't feel like it was as refined as it is now. People travel more, and they experience other cuisines and other cultures, and they can eat it because they have a more refined palate. It's more expanded, right?
Yeah.
Whereas back then, hamburgers, hot dogs, steaks, it would have never been accepted back in the 50s.
A lot of canned food, microwave food.
Right. So it had to be Americanized. And I think that's where it started. That's my opinion.
Well, you mentioned Julia Child, which I'm a very big fan. And when it comes down to it, her perseverance would be the word. How to explain how to cook French dishes in a way that wasn't so intimidating.
Right.
And watching somebody that wasn't a professionally trained chef, and her being on, obviously her TV show is legendary, and just making it, kind of fun at the same time too. But I think what you said about, more refined palate, traveling, knowing what good food should taste like.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, if you've never had, a certain food and you're like, wow, this is really good. Listen, I have not had You were just in Italy, what, last year, 2 years ago?
A few years ago.
Right.
2020, actually.
Did you notice a difference in the pasta dishes between here and there?
I couldn't eat the pasta dishes back then, but Kate could, and she said it wasn't that great. Because
does it depend on the rest? I mean,
it could depend on the restaurant, but at the same token, you get so accustomed here to the certain foods that are, pasta's obviously Italian, as they say. But in Italy, even the foods, even the crops, the animals, everything's different over there. It tastes different over there.
Sure.
So even the pizza here, in my opinion, tastes better than the pizza anywhere else.
Why was the meat so good? That mixed grill of meats that we had in Crete.
Oh my God, it was so good.
We're on an island, and I just hit me out of left field. They put a plate of meat in front of us, and it was absolutely.
It was one of the best foods I've ever had.
It was, and I thought about it. I'm like, oh my God, they're not importing anything.
No.
That's coming from the backyard.
Their backyard.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Sounds a little nuts. How are the cattle, let's say, raised? Like, are they abused? Because I feel like the bad energy you put into it and you mistreat
I can agree with
animals, that gets into your food. And that's a bad.
Well, that's the same thing with the lambs. If you've ever heard, if a lamb tastes too lammy or off, it's because it was afraid right before it was slaughtered. It releases this hormone into its blood that gets into its meat. So, when they go with the whole free range chickens, they're happier, they're livelier, and it just tastes better just because of that, Plus, they're not being pumped full of crazy steroids and all these antibiotics and shit food and whatnot. They're just a whole natural, healthy. And that's why I feel like the foods across the seas taste better, in my opinion. Like, you can have something here that tastes great. Don't get me wrong. It'll taste great, but it could taste much better, flavorful with a certain degree.
Everything tastes better on vacation, though, brother.
That is true.
I've seen people come from Greece and they're like, oh my God, this hamburger is the best thing I've ever had in my life. And we're just at a diner, and you're on vacation. Everything tastes better on vacation. Yeah. Look, we're down here in Cape May County, right? A lot of people are on vacation. It's the best thing we've ever had. Does it have anything to do with the atmosphere or them just being relaxed and calm? Technically, that was the first time Nico and I were on vacation. Nico, my brother, Kate, Noel, and does atmosphere have anything to do with everything tasting better? Sure. I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I think it tastes great over there too. But
maybe, yeah.
I will never ask for a souvlaki or a gyro with lettuce in Greece.
Ever.
I did it once. I'll never do it again. They laughed at me. So you got to be careful when we're traveling. But when you said the Philippines, when was the last time you were there?
Over 20 years ago.
It's time to go and taste some food.
I've been to Greece too, but I was a kid.
Yeah.
But I grew up overseas.
Yeah. Do you have memories, food memories?
Oh, yeah.
Anything? Yeah.
Because I lived in Germany. Yeah, the food was really good over there.
Right. In Germany?
So, yeah.
Yeah, I never looked at Germany as like a food capital.
Well, it's funny because there are
just
certain
sausages. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the knockwurst and the bratwurst, grew up on that, and there's certain cookies, and they were the greatest things when I was a kid, right? Because my mom didn't let us eat a lot of cookies.
Okay.
So I think they're called Leberkuchen, and
Say that again.
Leberkuchen.
God bless you.
I don't know if I pronounced it right, but it's pretty close.
Leberkuchen.
So it's like a gingerbread type cookie, but it has some kind of weird, like maybe anise, something else is in there. Ate it all the time. As an adult, I try to eat it. I'm like, this is nasty. Like, this is so not good. And it goes back to the whole what you grew up on,
Yeah.
Like I used to. Okay, this sounds really trashy, but my mom wouldn't let us eat a lot of sweets. But she would, for whatever reason, buy us Tang as if that was like
Tang.
As if that was the appropriate replacement for orange juice. So we used to take Tang and put it on bread, and that was like our.
Wait, Tang like
Tang
powder Tang?
Yes.
Tang powder on the bread, not like the liquid form?
We didn't have junk food in the house.
God.
So we put Tang on bread.
Are we getting all this? Are we getting all this?
I got to try this now.
But wait, and then, okay. So I had a huge sweet tooth, and the only chocolate she had in the house was like the bittersweet baking chocolate squares.
Oh yeah,
so I'd creep into the pantry and just nibble off the corner, but just enough that she couldn't tell I ate it because I desperately wanted to have chocolate.
That's great. That's a great trick.
Isn't that nuts?
I like that.
And that dark chocolate is just nasty.
And I ate butter by the stick.
And what?
I used to eat butter by the stick.
Butter by the
Yeah,
stick?
I don't know.
What is going on?
Wait, it gets better. It's so weird. So then
The Tang? I'm still on the Tang thing.
Wait, I used to, what was it, Diamond Tap, the purple one?
Diamond Tap, the cough syrup?
Yeah, I used to sneak in and drink it because I liked the taste. Because that was the only sweet thing we had in the house.
I can see that. I can see that.
And then, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little sweet, you know.
And then
I've actually done that before too.
she had to hide the Fred Flintstone.
Those I ate
Because
a whole bottle in like a 2.
because they're the only sweet things. These are the only sweet things in the
Flintstones
house.
vitamins, man,
So
they
she'd
were
hide
great.
them in her wardrobe at the top. So I would get on like a chair and climb up there like a fiend to get the vitamins.
Oh, those were great.
Because they taste like
Flintstones
candy.
vitamins. The orange ones were the best ones.
I'm just picturing right now. I thought we had it rough growing up.
Well, I'm older than the two of you.
Liz's
so.
eating fucking Flintstone kids, Tang sandwiches,
It was a different
butter,
world.
nibbling on the side of the chocolates, and now my mind's going somewhere else. I'm like, where did you grow up again?
It was a different world too.
It was a different world.
Aw.
And I lived in Germany, so it's not like we were going to go. And at that point, we were living off base, so we were living in German community, and you couldn't just go out and just run to the local store,
Right.
So it was like more confined. I mean, we did, but it just, I don't know. I'm a weirdo. What can I say?
You're not a weirdo. It's just it's amazing.
No, you're weird.
That's very weird.
That's pretty weird. I've done some weird shit.
Pretty
but-
resourceful, you have to say though. If
Yeah.
you don't have sweets, you just drink cough syrup.
Cough syrup and
As somebody that wakes up every night
Sticks of
at
butter.
3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning hunting for sweets,
yeah.
I've actually chugged the, not Diamond Tap, Robitussin.
Yeah,
I like a little Robitussin because it gives me that little sweet kick, and I'm like, oh, I'm good now.
I like.
So-
I
Like you guys didn't have
But I'm gonna
actual sugar in sugar. Take a teaspoon of sugar.
I just want to go buy some Tang right now. I'm
They
I'm actually
make
dying to
Tang
try this
anymore?
out.
Tang on bread.
Do you think we'd find Tang right now
Yeah.
in a
At a Filipino store, they'd have it, I'm sure.
yeah?
Yeah, they have some old throwback stuff.
I'll have some Tang next time for.
Well,
the
you
next
heard it here on
episode.
Restaurant Punk. We're gonna go hunt for some Tang. We're gonna make some Tang sandwiches.
Tang, it'll change your life.
God damn right it will. So chuck some Robitussin, have a Tang sandwich, travel the world. Enjoy. Restaurant Punk, Yianni, Liz, Nikos. We
Nikos.
love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.